Hey everyone, Mike Volkin here. Today we're going to be going through the top 3 not so obvious tips for getting new clients in Upwork. And the reason why I did this particular video is because I was looking at some Upwork tips blogs and it was all the same stuff. It was just general stuff. It looks like everybody just copied each other's blogs. So I went through some of my ideas on how I would get new clients and how I do get new clients. And the ones that weren't mentioned on those blogs that you typically see all the time. And by the way, subscribe to this channel, Freelancer Masterclass. Go ahead and apply. It's free. Become an awesome freelancer. We have all the great resources you need at freelancermasterclass.com. Let's go ahead and get into some of these tips for getting new clients in Upwork. First of all, I want you to be obsessed with your job success score. Now, if you don't know what a job success score is, it's a tongue twister, but it's also a combination of all your feedback, your long-term relationships, your repeat clients, your contracts without activity, which is including your lack of feedback. All right, so here's a good visual that Upwork put out on their blog that describes what a job success score is. So you see it's a combination of all your feedback, the long-term relationships and your repeat clients, which are great. And you got to think about why is that a part of that score? Well, that's how Upwork generates their money. They want you to get in long-term relationships with clients. They want you to have repeat contracts, okay? And they also factor in the contracts without activity. I'm going to talk about this more in a second, but also that has to do with excessive lack of feedback, all right? So look at the job success score this way. I made a nice equation for you. It's basically the successful contract outcomes minus the negative contract outcomes, and you divide all that by the total outcomes. All right. So how is it calculated? Well, you might think it's just like every day or every week, but it's actually not. Upwork takes a snapshot of your 6, your 12, and your 24-month history, and they calculate it into one score. And here it is. All right. So there's how I do it. Now, what they do is they choose the best score out of the rolling windows. They don't choose the worst score. Some people have really dived into the job success score, and they have improperly posted on YouTube and in blogs that they post the lowest score, but it's actually not. And I've confirmed this with Upwork. They actually choose the best score out of these rolling 6, 12, and 24-month time windows. Okay, so there's a lot of pundits out there talking trash, but you're going to come to Freelancer Masterclass for the real source, because I back everything up that I say with Upwork. I actually call their staff that I know. I call their customer service department, and I email them, and I get this stuff in writing before I just start spewing information and rumors out there on the internet. All right, so regarding, what did I say I was going to come back to here? Let me get this marker off. The contracts without activity. Okay. Now, a lot of freelancers think, okay, I'm just going to get somebody in really low barrier to entry. I'm just going to get this contract going on Upwork just so I can get something on the books. Just so when I go into Upwork, I can see all these open jobs, and if they want to give me work, they can. I'm just going to be available to them whenever. And then what happens? You accept 20 jobs, 5 of them give you work this month, and 15 just sit inactive. That actually hurts your Upwork score. Now, why is that? Think about that from Upwork's perspective. You took a client who is ready to hire and pay for work, and you sat them in this pool of unused clients that you have. All right, they had revenue that was on the table, and you took it from them, and you now have them in a whenever you want me to work for you, just tell me. All right, they want freelancers who are saying, okay, I know how to do the job. I'm going to knock this out for you, and I'm pushing for another milestone. I'm pushing for more work. Like essentially, that's how Upwork makes their money, is that if you charge clients, right, or clients give you money, give you work. They don't want somebody who's passive and just puts it in a portfolio of many other clients and, give me work whenever. So think about it from that respect. You don't want just contracts sitting out there without activity, and also without lack of feedback. So if you close 20 jobs on Upwork and you only got 2 or 3 people give you a response, a non-response is a negative response according to Upwork. So you want some kind of feedback there. All right, tip number 2. Actually, no, wait, let's go on to something else. I want to tell you a little bit more about the job success score and what you need to know. There's some idiosyncrasies here that could get you in a bad place on Upwork unless you understand these. First of all, the job success score is intentionally different from your 5-star rating. The job success score, I have to say that slow, it contains more than just public feedback. Now, if you don't know this, when you hire on Upwork, you have 2 levels of feedback you have to give. The first one is what clients get is a private feedback. It's a rating from 1 to 10. All right, so Upwork presents the client with a screen that says, this is private feedback. This will not be publicly available. Why do they do that? Because look at Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com is filled with garbage 5-star ratings from clients just because they want to give good feedback because the freelancer was nice to them, might not even provide good service. They wanted to avoid something like that. Because people are nice face to face, but when you're asked for private feedback, that's when they give the real review. All right. So the first bit of information the client gets is a private 1 to 10 star feedback. All right. It's not even a star rating. It's a 1 to 10 numbered rating. So you might get privately a 2-star or a 2 rating feedback, but a 5-star review. All right. So that's important. Also understand that difficult clients don't count against you. Upwork actually has in their algorithm patterns of unreasonable behavior. So if a client goes onto Upwork and gives multiple 2-star, 1-star, even 3-star reviews, Upwork will note that and not count that against you if you are one of those freelancers that get dinged by a client like that. They understand that some clients just don't give good reviews. They're always upset. So don't think that because you got a bad review that's going to be 5 times worse than getting 1 good review. It's not. Especially if it's a trouble client. Upwork does calculate that in their algorithm. Also note that contracts without activity can lower your score. We already talked about that. And a pattern of contracts that end without feedback can reduce your score. We've talked about the importance of getting feedback. And if you don't know how to get good feedback, go to Freelancer Masterclass and apply because we talk about specifically how to get good feedback. Now, Upwork has a very detailed blog on this. I've only touched on the high-level points this last few slides. You can go to this particular link right here. You can pause the video if you want, type it in, and read the full blog about your job success score. Now, let's go on to tip number 2 on getting new clients in Upwork. Understand how to convert. This is huge. All right. What do you do when a prospect actually reaches out to you and responds to your job proposal? This is where freelancers fall apart. And I know this because I've hired hundreds of freelancers. So here's some tips on how to convert prospects into clients. Number 1, don't go too big too soon. Many freelancers in Upwork have undeserved high hourly rates, and they give these huge proposals that have these crazy amounts of hours. I recently had an SEO job posted. I wanted to hire somebody for SEO. I had multiple people bid, okay, this is a small job, 10 to 20 hours, and I'll get it done. One person came in hot. This is going to be a 3-week job. I need 40 hours each week. I mean, he was just way off base. If he did not do that, I would have hired him. His profile was fantastic. All right. I actually wound up hiring somebody for 150 hours this person recommended, got the job done in that under budget too, under what that person even recommended. So he way overestimated what the cost would be. And they do that for fixed price jobs too. So don't go too big too soon. Don't assume that your client wants to pay thousands and thousands of dollars just because that you're well fitted for the job. I want you to make sure also have a loss leader. That's my second point here. A loss leader, if you don't know, is something that will only take you a few minutes that might not even bring in any income or really any profit. It might cost you $100 and you might charge your client $100. You're not making any money on it. But what it does is it creates a bond between you and your client, your prospect, and shows them that you can deliver on time with good communication and that you're an expert in your field of study. That's a loss leader. It's really just getting them in the door. The loss leader term really comes from retail outlets. They'll hang a lot of, for example, clothing stores do this a lot. They hang a lot of nice jackets on the front in the window. So when you walk by, you see the price tag. Wow, that jacket's only $100. It looks like it should be like $300 or $400. Then you go in the store and you wind up buying a whole bunch of stuff, right? I also want you to be super polite. No matter how skilled you are, if you're not polite, overly polite, honestly, you won't have a good relationship with your client. That's just the way it is. People want to work with not only skilled people, but polite people and responsive people. All right, so be responsive. Let's get managing up right now. I'll talk about the end, but I want to tell you about don't sell, prescribe first. Think about a doctor's office. They don't sell you a prescription. They prescribe you a prescription. They diagnose your problem and they tell you what the solution is. That's what you need to do to convert a prospect into a client. You're not on the call saying, I'm the best because of this. I deserve this job because of this. I. All right. You're listening to their problem. You're giving them some value. You're showing them what the solution is without actually giving them the solution. So you're prescribing them the medication, basically saying, here's what you need to do. And then you're selling without selling is the best way to put it. Now, managing up, we'll go back to that. If you don't know what it is, Google it. There's a term. We actually give a whole class on this at Freelancer Masterclass. Managing up is a whole process around how to deal with clients, even how to deal with employees and other contractors and freelancers. It's a way for you to better communicate, to make your life more efficient. And when I learned and studied how to manage up, oh my gosh, so much time got freed up. What you want to do, just a quick tip, this goes beyond the scope of this video, but a quick tip for managing up. Think about all the questions that you have for a prospect and just write them all before clicking that send button. Think about all of it and then get it back in one email. Just get it all out in one email. My biggest pet peeve on Upwork, and I beg them to change this, is that every time somebody hits enter, the person that you're speaking to through Upwork hits enter, it sends off another email. So I might log in to my email address and I'll have 15 emails from a freelancer or from a client, and they're all just like one sentence, 3 or 4 words, and they hit enter and they start sending. It's like it could have all been done once, right? And you can change that. There's a setting in Upwork, by the way, it's right by the send button. Instead of changing to send message, you just click send create a line break. That way you can write full sentences and won't keep firing off separate emails. But my point here is think about all the questions you have for a client instead of having to go back and forth on a conversation. Think about everything, get it all back. You're reducing the amount of time to log in your email, log into Upwork, send a response, wait for it back, send another response. It's just like, boom, just get it all out. Think for a second of all the questions you might have and then send it all back. Think about all the information you might want to ask. All right, that's managing up, or that's part of managing up. All right, my tip number 3 here for getting new clients on Upwork. Your profile picture and title means way more than you may think. Now, you might think, well, I know it's important for the Upwork algorithms. Let me move my picture here. I know it's important for the Upwork algorithms. Of course, the title is important, and the picture, whether I have a picture, a good one or not, may be important. But what's really important is the clickability aspect of it, because when a client searches on Upwork for a freelancer, they are presented with the title and the picture. That's what they read. All right. So you really have to get a good picture and title down big time. Let me give you some examples of some good ones and some bad ones. First of all, go to photofeeler.com. And I don't work for this company. It's just a company that I know does good work for this. You upload a few variations of your photo like this person has done here. This is not me. Okay. And then the crowdsourced nature of PhotoFeeler, they'll rate you on various levels of how good your picture is, on competency, on likability, on how influential you look, etc., etc. And then you pick the best picture that comes out during that testing. Now, this one came out the best for whatever reason. We could talk about how close it is. The framing is good from shoulder to shoulder. The smile, the tilt, the professional dress. We could talk about the reasons why that may be. But you see there's 40 votes on each of these, and this one came out to be the highest percentage. So really go into a good picture. I've seen many, many results of freelancers who just have these crazy pictures. I mean, they look like they're psychos. It's like, why would you put that as your profile picture? Psychopath. Anyway, have a good picture, okay? I don't need to dwell on that too much longer. And also the title. It means a lot to Upwork's algorithm, but it also means more in regards to the clickability of prospects. So your title should be clear, it should be descriptive, and you should experiment on different titles. Spend a month thinking about, or just put one title up there and see how well your profile is viewed, and you can see it under the My Stats in your profile. How many times your profile is viewed. Then change it to another title. I'm always experimenting with my title. Here's some examples of terrible garbage titles. Here's her title. Now she has like 100 characters that you can use in your title. Her descriptive and clear title is nurse. Great. This one is accounting expert. Ooh, that's very enticing. Makes me want to click. Those are garbage. Okay, those are not good. So you want to be sure to have something that that is very descriptive, and I'm going to show you some examples here. Here is one that's really good. Okay, Kayla, great picture. Okay, smiling, very pretty, long hair, right? Good background. Same with this person. Good head nod. You know, we can analyze these pictures. Glasses make you look intelligent. Here's some great titles though. Okay, website copy and blog to match your brand and engage your audience. Now, if it was this person in the previous slide, they probably just would have put writer, right? But this person really fleshed out. She is now I know she is great at website copy and blogs, and she really tries to match your brand and to the point of engaging with your audience. Like, I get it. Like, that is a very, very good title. Okay. Here's another one: compelling and visually motivating presentation and designs. Now, if it was from one of the previous people on this slide back here, it would have just been design expert, right? But no, she fleshed it out. She creates presentations and designs and makes them compelling and visually motivating. Wow, that is a really good title. All right. Now, here's one. This is obviously a very handsome man. No, I'm just kidding. This is me. Okay. So I have what I am. Okay. And then I have a vertical line break that separates it out. And then I put big ideas for your business. All right. So this is what I do. I'm a visionary. I'm a futurist. That's what kind of a marketing strategist I am. I don't get into details in the weeds of your business, but I produce ideas that create revenue and growth. All right. So I'm telling them right up front that I produce the ideas for your business. So if that's what you're hiring for, I'm your guy. All right. So hopefully this provides some insight into what you can do to get some new clients in Upwork. If you're not doing any of these big three, please go ahead and do them. Good luck.